Oi, what's up boys and grots and little snots, and can't forget the digger knobs. Walker's workshop.
Hey, what's going on everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to continue exploring the Ork Miniature Range. And this time we're taking a look at Shokkjump Dragstas. So one Citadel miniature, this nice box that all these buggies and the war trike come in with tire marks and a nice image in the middle. Take a look at the back. Madcap Mech Boy teleport wagon. So we've got our Bad Moon symbol in the corner again. It's in a Bad Moon's colour scheme, just like our last buggy. So we've got our loader Grot and Targeting Squig here. We've got our rocket launcher and ramp spoiler. Got saw blades, Shokkjump generator. And then we got custom shock rifle and a nice bird's eye view. Got our suggested paint scheme, orc skin. We got our yellow, and then we got our metals. In these little circles, it zooms in on a certain part of the vehicle. So we've got our driver. We've got our little grots with our targeting squig, which look amazing. Love those. We've got our Shokkjump generator. It's kind of like the shock attack gun that we reviewed previously. Our rocket launcher. We've got our suggested paint scheme for tyres, so blacks and greys. Loader grots again with our targeting squig. These look really cool, these grots. Then we've got a complete image of the vehicle. But we'll bust this open and we'll have a look. Assembly guide, a nice big sprue, and then we've got our nice big oval base. As always, we'll start with our assembly guide, so read this first. For assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in this booklet carefully. A pair of plastic cutters is required to remove the plastic components in this kit from the frame. We advise using a mold line scraping tool to clean up the parts. To assemble your model, you will need plastic glue. Games Workshop sells Citadel fine detail cutters, Citadel mold line remover, and Citadel plastic glue, but does not recommend these products to be used by children under the age of 16 without adult supervision. So 1A, we're putting together the body, the back of the vehicle, and then the blue parts are the ones you've glued together already, so the back's just glued in, and all these other little bits. And then you add in 59, which on the side it shows that it's glued in. So 1C, you add in all these spiked parts, just to the front of the vehicle there. Now you add in the top of the vehicle, it connects over the sides of those spikes. And 1C, you just add in this bit to the vehicle. Now it actually says paint before assembly, that's what that symbol is. So it recommends to paint before assembly here. I guess that's where all the controls and all the little dials and stuff is. Keep that in mind when you see that little red paintbrush. Now 2A and 2B, looks like you're building the exhaust here. Looks a bit similar to the bikes in a way, how they glue together at least. The yellow part is where the glue goes and where the two pieces meet, so 13 and 12. But on 25 it reminds me a little bit of the bike's exhaust. It has this like little nub or half of it where you add the other part to. So it's got some nice spikes to it. And then you're repeating the same, and then you're repeating the step in 3A. Now that whole part goes on the side of the vehicle here. Basically do it for each side. In 4B you can see the blue part. That's where you just attached the last side of these exhausts. Now 5A, we're building the Shokkjump generator. Nice big piece here, it's really big and chunky. Lots of detail. So it's quite easy, you just add in bit by bit. 5B and 5C. Yet again, it recommends painting this before you assemble it, which I guess is nice that they pointed out. So they suggest, and I would have suggested anyway, painting and building some of this separately, adding it on as you go. So that's 6A, and then 6B, you add in this part. 6C and 6D. The blue part is what we've already glued, and then you add in this piece, and then you add in piece 9 to it. Doing the same on the other side with 20. And we've got 6E, so you add in the piece 9, and then you add in the 48. It recommends painting this separately again. I guess that's the steering wheel. You could assemble this and then paint it all at once, but it's going to be hard to get to some details, so it's nice that they point that out. I guess it saves me doing it, even though I'm pointing it out anyway. But if you've seen any of my other reviews, I normally suggest to paint stuff in sub-assemblies, which they suggest here again. So this is the Ork. You add his arms on, and then you add his face. Paint him separately and add him to the vehicle. Then we're at these loading grots. So they suggest to paint this separately as well, which is cool. We've got a nice big gun there. Shows you how to build it there. Now it's starting to come together. 7C is basically the Grot. So we're adding all these, it looks like an ammo belt to him, and his face of course, and arms. 8A and 8B. So it's suggesting to paint this separately. But yeah, this part's going to start covering a lot of these details. So most likely paint all this stuff, maybe even some of the other steps like wheels and stuff. But then this big spoiler, I guess you could call it, or just this roof, most likely paint the stuff under it first and then add that. Then we've got 9A and B. These are ×2 for this, so one on each side of the vehicle. So 9A and 9B. So we've got ×2 of this. Obviously a tyre for each side of the vehicle, which you see in 9C. And then it shows you the parts that are already glued, and then you just add in the wheels basically. We've got 10. You just really add in these missiles here, and then you're placing them on the base. Good old 150mm. And then you've got a nice bird's eye view, and then a side shot. Got the English version of the rules, Shokkjump Dragstas. So he's nice and fast, this one. He's got custom shock rifle and saw blades. Abilities, here we go. Mob rule, Dakka, and speed mob. A shock tunnel, Grot gunner and targeting squig explodes. Then we got our faction keyword. And then we got our faction keywords and our keywords. Now let's take a look at the sprue. So first, these are all the... So at first we've got our grots. Take a look at the back. These are really nice and detailed, the creases in their clothing and the belt. Really detailed. We've got all those blades. obviously tyres, bits of exhaust, and this framework here. Have a quick look at the Grot's faces. Have to turn the sprue over. So those outfits are really awesome. I love that. Even his feet and toes are really detailed. But that's how you can tell it's a new kit, how detailed the Grots are. Really cool. This one looks amazing with his big shiny glasses. Nice expression. Man, he's cool. He's got like a cybernetic eye and a big lip piercing. That is great, that Grot. Then we've got our main body of the vehicle. Looks like some wooden panels almost. Look at our Targeting Squig. He looks really cool. His face almost looks like an orc, just with so much definition around his lips and stuff. That is really cool. Probably one of the newest squigs I've seen for orcs. There's that tail piece, the roof or whatever. It's got some nice symbols on it, some cogs that look like squigs almost. Got our tyres. We've got our console here with all the knobs and stuff on it. No, not those kind of knobs. And not those kind of knobs. Like dials, I guess. You know, I have to add a stupid little joke in there somewhere. I do most of the time. Really nice pieces. They're all sort of jagged and put together with some rivets and stuff. It's really nice. See how detailed this is with the wires and the cables. That's awesome. We've got our Shokkjump generator here. Really nice. See, if you could buy bits, you could buy this whole piece and make a shock attack gun or something out of it. It's just a shame that GW don't sell these in bits. I've said it before, but you know, you'd have to buy this whole kit and then you'd have to leave it off the vehicle or use the vehicle for bits and then use this as a weapon. Our rocket with our triple rockets in there. Look how awesome the Ork's body is. It's like a big jumpsuit. Love that. With a big zip. That's really sort of space Ork style. Love that. Just brings so much just brings so many ideas to me. It's just a nice jump suit, that is. It's like, it actually looks like he's a racer, which is great. Formula 1 or something. And this one, I said it on the last kit I reviewed, the other buggy, even has a watch. It's just crazy. Losing my mind over orcs with watches, but just those little details. And just the fact that there's different sleeves. And then he's got like a spiked wristband here. Now I do love to customise and change stuff to make it mine, but these kits are so nice. There's just, like, that head is so unique in its own way. It's just, I'll most likely build all of these as is, and if I ever get a double, I'm just going to really kit bash it and convert it. But this is such a nice kit, and this is such a nice orc. He's even got a little glyph on the top of him. Just have to build it as is. It's always nice to do that as well, build it as is, learn the kit, sort of learn what the mistakes are, or if there's any difficult parts, you can kind of work your way around it next time, or just you'll have a second chance, but then you can add parts or leave parts off that aren't so important, like add the main body and all the little bits to build it up, and then just leave certain parts off. I mean, you can even cut off parts of this or something, some parts of the exhaust or whatever, maybe cut it off and add it elsewhere or whatever, you know. really play around with it. But yeah, that's the Shokkjump Dragsta. Now this is a really nice kit. They are a little bit on the expensive side, I guess. I mean, it is a really nice vehicle, but a truck is about $10–20 cheaper, give or take. But these kits are really nice, detailed. I really like the assembly guide. They're really detailed and they make it kind of hard to screw up. It's almost idiot proof in a way with the colour systems and the nice symbols and whatnot. It's a lot nicer build guide than the battle wagon and the truck. And the other positive is these are really detailed, as in the Grots, the Ork, just his clothing is very unique on a lot of these buggies. They, as I pointed out, have watches. But yeah, there's a lot of detail in these, which kind of makes it worth the money in a way. Like even here, it's got lots of detail of weathering and damage. But yeah, it's a really nice kit. But as always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.